Hey, good morning, class. Making this video for lesson 4 on the Dennis Gioia Ford Pinto article. I thought it was very, very interesting. I'm happy that Ford came up. I had talked about it in my previous video about Ford dumping their oils right in my own town. So it's cool to talk about the Pinto car and it being recalled and following the scripts rather than, whistleblowing, stopping everything, recalling all the cars. I think it's a really, really great topic to talk about because employees are put in these situations every single day where after college, let's just start there. You learn almost everything that you think that you need to know. School is supposed to get you ready for the corporate world. But then when you get into the corporate world, I've been in the corporate world, I've had friends in the corporate world, they tell you to forget everything that you've learned in college and you're going to do it our way. You're going to do it the way that we teach you, the way that our company runs it, our books, our script, our rules, and this is how you have to act or else you get fired. So as an employee, after you go to college, you're in massive debt. You have like a lot of payments that you need to make and you need to get a job as soon as possible. So let's just say Dennis wasn't as wealthy as he was when he had taken on the job, and I think it was 1972, after having previous success in his companies. Let's just say he was out of college and he had to listen to these rules, but he was put in a pretty big situation. The reason why these companies make these rules are so that if something were to happen and no one could reach higher level of management, these employees would know what to do on the spot. So I don't believe it's Dennis's fault for following the rules and not whistleblowing, because he was just doing as he was told. It was just the rules of the book. If a teacher told you to do an assignment that's due on Tuesday, are you going to get it to her on Wednesday? No. So if the rules of the book told you not to recall and to follow protocol, why would you go against it? It just puts him at more risk of getting fired, losing his job. Obviously, getting fired and losing his job is the same thing, but then losing money, then he would have to pay back, those incredible student loans that he had accrued during college. But Dennis was in a little bit different of a position, and this is kind of where my other side comes in of being like an experienced businessman. I think that you can go off the script. I think that's what business is all about, is consistently adapting. The rules are forever changing. You can't make a rule in 2005 and expect for it to be the same in 2015. Times have changed. In between that, social media has grown. Facebook was launched. All these different things, all these different technologies that have changed our world so much that you need to be able to step outside of the rule lines and be like, there's something really, really messed up. And there was red flags everywhere saying that this car needed to be made better. It was not as safe. The parts weren't as good. And again, as an employee, he can just say I was following protocol, which is what he did. He had said what he had to say. In every press release, he had to make sure that the company's name was intact, because you don't want this, even if the car was faulty, yes, and that the parts had to be recalled, yes, you don't want the Ford name to, go down the drain. So you want to be able to keep that as strong as possible, but then also be as transparent as possible as well. Personally, I wouldn't have gone about it like that. I would have recalled it as soon as possible. When you make a mistake in business, you got to really own up to it. That's what makes you a legacy company. But I just want to reference the article a little bit. What Dennis was saying, he said, I turned traitor to my own expressed values. He's saying how he went in there with such strong core beliefs, and then when this had happened, he went against, what he had believed in. So I think two things there. One, I think he shouldn't have even been in the position if his core beliefs didn't match up with Ford. That should have been the first thing. He should have been able to make that differentiator between the two. So he shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. But now that he was in that position and his values were being pushed against, well, stand up for your values. don't just let the corporate world tell you how you think you should be feeling or operating or what your morals and values are, because no one can tell you what those are. You tell yourself what those are, and you follow them. So he felt pressured, and he had used the word traitor, which is a traitor. You used to get killed for things like that back in the 1800s. And he goes, in the face of strong pressure to heal the company preferences, I folded, put ethical concerns aside. Literally said, I don't care about being ethical, or at least traded them for a monumental guilt trip and did what anybody would do to keep a good job. Exactly. He didn't want to lose his job. The same thing that a college kid would do. If he was messing up, or if the company was messing up in corporate and they've known it, my friends say it all the time, they don't say anything because they feel pressured. They feel like these top dogs are going to bark at them and they're going to fire them and lose their job. No top dog could ever say some stuff like that to me, because I just know that that's just not how business is done. Business is not done that way. I would never put my ethical and moral code aside just to please a company. I'd fire myself or I'd quit before that happens. So this is a really, really good topic to talk about. Obviously, we're getting into whistleblowing, in lesson 5 this week, which is really amazing. All in all, like, I feel bad for Dennis. He had stuck to the script. He did what he was told. I don't think it's his fault. I really do think it's the Ford company's fault, because their rules weren't forever changing. They weren't able to adapt with their mistakes. They tried to really cover it up. They told them just to follow protocol. Humans don't like protocol. They like authenticity and transparency. If you mess up, they want to know about it. They don't want you to cover it up. That's just plain and simple. Does he bear responsibility? Just answered that. So yeah, guys, that's my 2 cents. Little longer video. I really like the videos. It really allows you to express how you're feeling. I really encourage other people to do it. I hope you like this one. Let me know if you guys think that it was Dennis's fault. I really, truly believe it wasn't. Just because he was following protocol, I think it lands more on Ford as a company than as on the employee. But then Ford would try to say, we want to empower our employees to let us know when things are wrong. So Dennis should have said something, but it's all a really, really great area. I think the company should have had better rules, better protocols. And that's my 2 cents. So thanks, guys, for listening. I'll talk to you guys soon.